Welcome to a video on our mastery-based learning and module structure. This video is intended for students enrolled in a math class at the Math Learning Center at American River College or at our Natoma Center. Let's get started. Math is a sequential learning subject. To learn a new topic, you must already understand what came before. This course uses a mastery-based learning model, which means you must demonstrate strong understanding of the material before moving forward. In our mastery-based approach, to be eligible to take a unit test, you must earn at least 90% on the media lessons, homework assignments, and pre-tests that come before a unit test. Unit tests cover 2 modules and require a minimum score of 70% to show mastery of the material. This approach ensures you build a strong foundation before advancing, helping you retain concepts and succeed in later modules. We utilize a module structure. That means the course content is divided into modules in Canvas. In a full term or 16-week course, you will complete 1 module per week. In a short term or 8-week course, you will complete roughly 2 modules per week. Before we dive deeper into each module, let's locate the modules in Canvas. Here are the navigation steps. Start by logging into Canvas. Click on the modules link on the upper left-hand side. Navigate to the introduction of the module you want to work on. Read through the introduction, then click Next to move through the module. Let me demonstrate this now. Once you open the course in Canvas, go over to the left-hand side and click on the modules link. Scroll down to find the module that you're looking for. Click on the introduction to open the module. Once you read through the introduction, click Next at the lower right corner to move through each module. While the content will vary from module to module and course to course, each module has been constructed to have a similar structure. So within each module, you will find an introduction, the learning objectives, this is what you'll learn within the module, the tasks list, this is what you'll need to do within the module. You'll find your media lessons, a workbook submission page, homework assignment, a pre-test, optional extra practice assignments, and a module wrap-up which contains information about your next test. Let's dive deeper into the critical parts of each module. This includes the media lesson and workbook, homework, and pre-tests. The media lessons are where you'll watch short instructional videos and take notes in your course workbook. These lessons introduce the week's concepts step by step, similar to a classroom lecture. You must reach 90% before moving on. Remember, submit the workbook pages for extra credit. Let's go back over to Canvas and see how a media lesson is designed. On the left side of the screen, I have the first media lesson for a Math 300 course. Even if you're enrolled in a different course, the general structure will still be the same. On the right-hand side, I have the corresponding page in my workbook for Math 300. The workbook is designed to work with the media lessons. You want to make sure that you have it open and are taking notes as you work through each lesson. Let's click Start to start the first lesson. Read through the directions and note the resources that are available. When you're ready, click the first question button toward the bottom of the screen. You should see that the first question is actually the first video in the media lesson. Watch the video and take notes on the corresponding page in your workbook. You'll see in the workbook some of the key definitions are already written for you. Scroll down to reveal the example problems that are covered within the video. The problems are already written here, and there is space for you to take notes. At the end of each lesson, Complete the You Try problems to check your understanding of the concepts that were covered on the video. Once you've watched the video and completed the workbook page, click the box that says, I have completed this section of the media lesson and am ready to continue. Then click Submit. You should see a green check mark next to question number 1. Now use the arrows to toggle to the next question. Most questions allow you to try the question multiple times. This question asked me to select the sets of numbers that the square root of 18 belongs to. I know that's irrational and real, but I'm going to get this question wrong intentionally. I see that I did not answer this question correctly. Most questions will allow you to attempt the problem 2 or 3 times. If you still do not have the question right, you can attempt a similar question. So it is possible to get up to 100% credit on all of the media lessons. Once you get the question right, you'll get a green check mark next to question 2 and you can proceed to the next question. When you've completed all of the questions on this assignment, scroll down to the bottom of the page in Canvas and click Next. Currently, the second lesson is locked because I have not yet scored 90% on the first media lesson. Since we use a mastery-based learning model, you will need to get 90% on most assignments before you can proceed to the next one. After you complete all of the media lessons and submit your workbook pages, you'll be ready to move on to the homework assignment. The homework assignment is where you will apply what you learned in the media lesson to new problems. You must reach a 90% before moving on. After you complete the homework assignment, you'll be ready to take the pretest. The pretest is a practice assessment to help you check your readiness for the unit test. Like the media lessons and the homework, you must earn 90% on the pretest to unlock the next module or unit test. After completing the media lessons, homework, and pretest for a module, you should be ready to move toward the next unit test. However, taking some time to review and practice can boost your confidence and help you identify any areas that you need extra attention. So after the pretest, you'll find a place in the module where there are optional extra practice assignments. The optional resources do not count toward your overall grade. Within each module, you'll find an optional extended practice for each module. In the optional extra practice section, you'll find an optional practice quiz just before the unit test. Unit tests are given after every 2 modules. The unit test covers all the topics from both modules. You'll need at least a 70% to demonstrate mastery and to move forward. Let's summarize. You'll complete each module by doing the following. First, you'll complete the media lessons. This is where you'll watch videos and take notes. These require 90% to demonstrate mastery. Second, you'll move on to the homework. This is where you're going to solve problems. The homework also requires 90% to show mastery. The third step is to complete the pretest. This is where you'll take a practice test. You need to earn 90% to demonstrate mastery. After you complete 2 modules, you'll be ready to move on to the unit test. To pass the unit test, you need a 70% to show mastery. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.